Hello and welcome to the Good Imaginations podcast. Tonight we will journey to the ancient tree,
where you can unwind, reorient yourself, and if you would like, fall fast asleep. Before we begin our adventure, make sure you're settled. If you are seated, get comfortable. Listen to your spine and relax your shoulders. If you are lying down, get your covers and pillow where you want them. Create your nest.
Very good. Now, take 3 deep breaths with me in preparation for the journey ahead. Let go of your day and travel to a vacation for your mind. Imagine with me, see, smell, and be present. Breathe with me now, in through your nose, out through your mouth, slow and even. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now, shut your eyes and let's drift off to the site of tonight's adventure. You leave the village and walk across the sunset ground to the ancient tree, the source of power and wisdom that sits just on the edge of your community. The land you live in is a strange one. Some would call it barren, but you call it ancient. You know that it is not struggling to live, not discontent with itself. The ground is mostly dry, a vibrant reddish brown. Beautiful thin stalks grow in patches. Short trees grow as well, trees with wood as hard as stone, as sturdy as metal. The trees dot the landscape and lie against the pink glow of the sunset like sentinels. The trees are small, but they are older than you. In their shadow, huge birds with long beaks rest. The village behind you is not so ancient and wrinkled. It rests inside a jungle that has grown around a deep oasis, and snakes slither past huge leaves, and colorful tiny birds squeak at you from the upper branches, and wonderful root vegetables grow orange and bright in the soft, sandy soil. That is back there, however, the lush green coolness of your jungle. Out here, in this sunset stroll, you think only of the tree. The ancient tree. You head towards it, and the cracked, dry ground is pleasant under your sandaled feet. You feel such an immense sense of peace coming from the world around you. You are in what you think must be the center of the world. Things are older here than they are anywhere else. The ground is an old, wise woman who has lain down to look up at the sky and tell stories, and she is not frustrated or parched. She is at peace. She is enjoying her rest. She now produces not endless crops, but stories. Wisdom. Deep wisdom that changes lives. You feel the wisdom as you trek across the darkening landscape. You can breathe it in, the way you can breathe in the fragrance of the dry grasses. You inhale wisdom, because it has settled so comfortably here. At last, after your trek, you reach the tree. Unlike the other trees, which are small and gnarled, this tree stands tall and fat against the skyline. It no longer has any leaves, but it does not need them. It is a source of power, after all. It runs no longer on photosynthesis, but on the magic in its core, the golden dust, the life of it, the power that keeps your village healthy and safe. You see the golden dust glowing in the center of the tree, beaming out through the cracks and fissures. You stand under the immensity of the tree and simply admire it for a few moments. This tree once would have been the queen of her jungle, tall, with such a thick, bulging trunk that someone could have built a house inside. She is like a gourd with branches, immense and stately against the pink haze of the setting sun. Like anyone from your village, you are welcome to climb to the top of the tree. You know this because the tree grew steps in her bark. Not much bigger than the rungs of a ladder, but anyone agile can climb gently to the top and sit in the center of her gigantic trunk, with the old branches chattering around them and the music of the ancient land whispering past. You climb the tree. First, you remove your sandals, and it is so good to curl your toes against the roughness of the bark. You climb, hands spread on the tree, the sandpapery wrinkles of her bark under your palms. Sometimes the jungle where you live is too misty, too green, too soft. There is comfort in the dry crinkling of the ancient tree, of her age, and the simplicity of her texture. You enjoy the dustiness of the earth out here, the dustiness that has covered the tree bark and coated your hands like a sweet-smelling chalk. With an easy bend in your legs and an increase in the pounding of your heart, you reach the top of the ancient tree. The top of the trunk, despite its many branches, is flat, with room to sit. You sit now, and you stare out across the dimming landscape. What a view! Beside you, the golden glitter of the tree pours down like water. You accept magic as an ordinary thing, the inhale and exhale of an orderly universe. But still, the tree's magic takes your breath away every time. You cannot get used to it. Perhaps it is simply so beautiful. The center of the tree pushes out magic constantly. The magic pours like water out of the tree, and it can be touched and sipped and kneaded into bread. It is a kind of golden dust with its own light, and you take some into your fingers now, like fine sand, like touching stars. You grip it tight against your skin, and it seems to you that some of the light soaks into your pores and fills your blood with something better. You lean back against the branch of the tree, and you think, how good to have an elder, to grow old and be kind. What a rare and important thing. You know that your soul is young enough, that you need to keep eating and growing and changing. You must continue to absorb and harvest and hunt and want. Someday, however, you think you will reach the top of the hill of life. And then, instead of continuing on in your selfishness, trying to reenact the hungry caterpillar stage of life, you will transform. You will give. You will quietly leach wisdom and goodness like this tree, not demanding attention, but becoming a wellspring of the kind of integrity that people can hold on to. You hold the magic in your hands and let some drift down onto the ground to satisfy the small plants and purple flowers that grow at the base of the tree. And why not? There is plenty to go around.